As we have been telling you here on Channel 2, there's a new park going up in the historic west side of our city called Legacy Park. This $3.2 million project is a partnership between the city of Las Vegas and Clark County. It's going to be more than just a beautiful place to escape the hustle and bustle of our city. It's going to be a place where you can go and learn some of the history of our city, and you can learn about some of the African Americans that helped build our city and made big changes. Well, here on City Beat, we are profiling some of the 36 honorees who will be featured when Legacy Park is completed. Right now, we want to introduce you to Vicki Richardson and her late husband, Louis Richardson. Mr. Richardson was founder and CEO of Richardson Construction. They built Doolittle Senior Center along with many other structures in our community. And Mrs. Richardson continues to give back through art and education. When you step into this gallery at left of center, you immediately feel embraced by its beauty and entranced by the works of art surrounding you. This first floor gallery hosts rotating exhibits. The theme now through April 30th, 2021 is called Bending the Arc, a social justice exhibition. It is a collection by artists depicting an event or personal experience that left a permanent mark on their world and ours. Like this intricate paper creation depicting 176 birds for the 176 people who died when that Ukrainian passenger jet was shot down in 2020. This charcoal creation by Lance L. Smith is of his mother, who he lost at a very young age. And who can say this creation by Diane Bush hasn't become way too recognizable in our world?
We just put out a call. This is what we want to do. We want to do something on social justice. Gave them enough time to work towards a project so that they knew about 8 months ahead of time that this is what we're going to do. They might have something that they were already working on or have done before, but most of these are new pieces.
When Vicki Richardson puts out a call to artists, they take notice because she's one of the original artists and educators to take notice of the vast artistic talent in and around our community, particularly among artists of color.
When they come here, they're going to see quality artwork. And some of my mentors that were here earlier have said that they've never been to this gallery and not seen a quality show.
When she arrived in Las Vegas in 1978, she said young, brilliant artists of color really had no place to show.
We can't sell your work because if it had a lot of ethnic qualities to it, they just felt that there's not going to be a big enough audience.
She eventually opened this gallery in the 1990s to nurture these artists, give them a place to show, and to widen their horizons into other venues. At first a for-profit gallery and educational center, it is now nonprofit, but the mission has not changed. Aside from this rotating gallery, there's a permanent exhibit of African art on the second floor, pieces she collected and others lent to the gallery by local collectors.
We have our African art exhibit, which is our main focus, you know, because it's taken years to collect this, and we have plenty of people who are in the community who have authentic things that have traveled back and forth to Africa year and year, you know. And so we've come up with a very good collection that's recognized all over the state, all over the country, actually.
This exhibit is also part of the educational aspect of the center.
Then we have an educational component to that exhibit, which shows you how the pieces were used, how they were created, how they're used, because that art isn't made to be hung on the wall. That art is made to be used in ceremonies and traditions, and they have more purpose.
Speaking of education, all while working to expand the talent of our ethnic art community, Vicki Richardson was teaching art all over the city, but mainly at Rancho High School. A high school she specifically chose because she believed students there would benefit from a rather specialized degree she earned from the University of Chicago.
My background is in inner city education. And I got a degree from the University of Chicago, and we went into inner city schools. I mean, schools that had gang rivalry, you know, two gangs in the same school, where they had to cross each other's territory to get to school. And so it was a lot of tension in some cases. In some cases, that art classroom was the only place that they could relax.
She has many former students who have gone on to become very successful. She hears from many of them years later.
That's about the most rewarding part of my life, is those students, because they have a lot of problems, you know. Some people had given up on, but they have a lot of talent.
It is hardly a side note that Lewis Richardson, Vicki's late husband, is being honored right at her side. He was founder and CEO of Richardson Construction Company. He had a hand in building so much in our community and the surrounding area, such as several projects at McCarran International Airport and UNLV. His company built fire stations in Las Vegas and North Las Vegas, the Downtown Transportation Center, Centennial Hills Park, and Hollingsworth Elementary School. The list could go on. These were all contributions he made to our community years after helping to build another community in greater need.
He has a degree in engineering, and when he graduated from college, he actually went to Sierra Leone, and he lived there for about 4 years and built bridges and schools and things there. So he had been in building for quite a while before he came here.
She proudly shares this latest distinction of being named an honoree in Legacy Park with her husband. She hopes they are remembered for helping to build this community figuratively, as much as building it with bricks and mortar.
I think that's what both Lou and I have tried to do. He's mentored a lot of young people. There are a lot of people in jobs here. We've always worked with the young people with the Business Institute, mentoring them over the summers in my business and in his business. And I think he's touched a lot of people in this community. And I think it's wonderful that he's being recognized for that.
Left of Center Art Gallery had so much to offer we didn't even have time to feature it all. For example, there's a big workspace where artists can come and talk to each other and work on their art. Students can come and watch them. There's a multi-purpose room where they have lectures and book signings. It's an amazing place. If you want more information, you can go to leftofcenterart.org. And we want to thank Vicki Richardson for spending so much time with us.